what an upset in East Lansing. Not the biggest upset of the season so much, but what a game we had. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard here with Ballard Sports Media. Hey, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Love each and every one of you guys. It's been amazing 2 years on here almost, coming up on the second anniversary of the channel. But getting to this game, now I had to go back. I think it was more than I expected. Now, I think I did end up picking Michigan State to win this game if I go back and look at it, which I did. 34-23 is what I had. It ended up being 37-33. So I was pretty close. I was somewhere in that range. I figured Michigan State would end up pulling away. That was not the case. Now, they trailed at halftime. Not only that, they got shut out 10-zip in that first quarter. It was not looking good. But I'll tell you what, Kenneth Walker with 5 touchdowns, 23 carries on the day, and 197 yards. Peyton Thorne had 2 picks. Cade McNamara had only 1 pick, right? Threw for more yards. But the defense really stepped it up, especially in that fourth quarter when they needed to. You look at this game and everything, pull the stats up. Michigan State, of course, moving to 5-0 in conference play, beating a higher-ranked opponent. So they'll probably move. They're already in the top 10 at number 8. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, we get the playoff rankings coming out this Tuesday. We'll see where they put them. But I'd expect them maybe even in the top 5 somewhere. Of course, jumping Michigan. 8 of 17 for the Wolverines on third downs. 1 of 3 on fourth downs. Michigan State converted 4 of 14 on third downs. Most of that, for the most part, was at the beginning of the game. They just had a hard time moving the football, moving the chains. They had to punt a few times. They had to kick field goals. Of course, they were 2 for 2 on fourth down efficiency. Michigan, and this was really where this was the key. Each team had 2 turnovers. The defense really stepped it up. Like, on paper, Michigan won this game. They had 26 first downs compared to Michigan's 20. They had more time of possession. They had more yards. It was tied at 2 turnovers. But Kenneth Walker, I think, was the key guy. And this is probably, I don't know if I want to say he's the best running back in college football, but he's definitely up there. He's got to be top 3, top 5, somewhere in there, in that range. He's really, really good. And he carried this team. He did. They ran the ball, Michigan State, 36 times. 1 yard short of a 200-yard game for Michigan State. 197 of those being from Kenneth Walker. Compare that, of course, to the running back, Hassan Haskins of Michigan. 14 carries, 59 yards. And the key receiver, Andrell Anthony, 6 receptions, 155 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And you give credit to both these teams. Phenomenal job by Cade McNamara. Phenomenal job by Peyton Thorne, too. Peyton Thorne, again, 2 picks to 1 pick by Cade McNamara, right? So where was the difference maker? Like, on paper, when you look at the stats, especially offensively, it just seems like it was all Michigan. And it was. It wasn't even close to the total yards. I mean, they were averaging maybe 8.5 yards a pass, right? They had only 1 interception, Michigan. They were 31 of 48 for a total of 552 yards. Or that was total yards, rushing included, 383 yards for Cade McNamara. Now, here's the thing. Did Michigan lose this game, or did Michigan State win it? You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, did this team just not do their job, or did this team actually pull it off? I think Michigan more so pulled this off, and I credit Mel Tucker. Now, he is the first, what was it that they were saying? I think they said, like, the first coach to beat Michigan or whatever, or win this rivalry within their first season or 2. He's been there 2 years, I think? Or is this his first? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I think it's year 2 for him. But that's something nobody's done at either school, is win this rivalry within like a certain span of their career. It takes them maybe 3 years or so to do it. and maybe I'm wrong about that. That's at least what I heard. But some key plays. You have maybe 7 or 8 minutes left in the game. Michigan just gets the ball back, right? Jacob Penasuik, one of the key defenders on Michigan State, picked up a fumble by J.J. McCarthy, right? Cade McNamara was in that game, and ultimately he came out of the game. J.J. McCarthy was in there. And I don't know if, I guess it's one of those you want to give him some experience. So he goes out there, and he's not even looking that good. Cade McNamara came in, and he looked great. How could Michigan have won this game? I don't know. I mean, look, McNamara threw the pick. I definitely don't think you should have put J.J. McCarthy in there at the end. They kind of switched it up. I really think if you had just kept going with Cade McNamara, regardless of score, don't put anybody else in there, maybe it's a little different. I don't know. That's my opinion. Because he could have just stayed in the game. He didn't need to take a break. He could have just stayed out there, kept his mind clean, kept his focus. But that wasn't the case. Now Michigan State takes a big leap. They are now 8-0, and they're 5-0 in the conference. They lead now the Big Ten East. You have another Big Ten East showdown tonight, very big one, with Penn State and Ohio State. Say whatever you want. Oh, Ohio State's just going to blow out Penn State. Ohio State's good. And Ohio State's even going to win the Big Ten. I don't know. Michigan State showed they could play a close game. They showed they could compete. Their defense looked pretty good there towards the end, and they picked it up in the second half. They only gave up 10 points in the second half. They gave up 23 in the first, right? They outscored in the fourth quarter 15-3, right? And they controlled the clock. They had the ball. Time management was amazing. This is huge. And I think today, and say whatever you want, oh, it's a rivalry game. It's a big rivalry game. And for first-year, second-year head coaches, especially like with Mel Tucker, that's huge for his legacy at this Spartan program. This is big for him. This is huge. He needed this win. And look, does this kind of show where this program's going? Yes. Yes, it does. What does it mean now for Michigan that they have a loss? Well, they got to win out. They could still win the East. What they have to hope for, they have to beat Ohio State. Michigan State has to take a loss somewhere. And I'll tell you what, Ohio State and Michigan State play maybe right before rivalry weekend. They play here in a few weeks. If Ohio State beats Michigan State will take a loss in the conference. Yeah? And then you'd have to hope maybe Penn State or whoever on rivalry weekend, because that's who Michigan State's playing, would have to beat Michigan State. There's a lot that has to happen. Michigan State's got to drop a couple games. Ohio State could win out the rest of their schedule if they wanted to, but Michigan cannot lose again. Then they got to go beat Ohio State, which I think they could. I mean, they showed some moments today that they could compete and play well. I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the season, but I love what I saw from Mel Tucker and what his guys and Peyton Thorne and everybody. Kenneth Walker is a special running back. Everybody came together and got a very huge victory. And this is definitely a key win that can help plunge Michigan State forward going the rest of the season, I think, to potentially maybe win the East. And again, keep your eye on tonight with Ohio State and Penn State. Say whatever you want about that game. Oh, it's in Columbus. I don't know. I mean, it's been 2 or 3 straight losses for Penn State, and I think that they're better than all of that. Are they using that as motivation? What is James Franklin telling his guys about that game tonight? We'll find out, and we'll watch that game. Hey, I'm going live tonight. Catch me for the Auburn-Ole Miss game. I love you guys. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new to the channel for more amazing sports content. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. God bless. And as always, from a Bama fan.